Hi, welcome everybody. Day 14, last day, and I wanted to finish this painting of Erin. Turn to the side. You can see on the wall behind, I think just barely behind Erin there, you can see a painting that I did of Erin, and I'll put the link below. I did that painting on Remarkable TV, so it's over 2.5-hour Remarkable Women TV, 2.5-hour sessions. So that's a lot longer and goes into quite a bit more detail than the one that I'm doing here, which is side profile. I'm in the garden studio, and yeah, so it's side profile, and I'm just going to do the second part of it. All right, thanks for tuning in. Okay, it was really quick, like the first 5 minutes was fierce quick. But I've got a bit more memory on my phone now, so yeah, I'm able to do a little bit more. All right, let's see. Okay, so it's good to be at arm's length from the easel anyway. And I think what I'll do is I'll just use my 2-inch brush to start off with something general, kind of a general sweeping statement to describe the, gosh, I could have put out the paint beforehand. I need to put out some more blue to describe something for the hoodie that Erin's wearing. A lot of people commented on what a lovely model she is, and I would agree. Fantastic, very fortunate. But wanting to get on with her evening too, so let's motor on. Okay, so I'm mixing ultramarine blue and Van Dyke brown together in order to make the colour for the hoodie, which meets the back of the neck about here. I just want to make sure you can see with my head. I think you can. Okay, and the front comes down overlapping the neck here. So this is hoodie, and it comes back up and back there. And I'm just going to print the edge with the 2-inch brush down here, and the little triangle of dark as it comes up to meet the front of the neck there. And then the other shoulder can be printed on as well, just now. And I may do more detail, and I may not. I'm just going to indicate the body by doing that. Okay, and a bit more of the Van Dyke brown into that ultramarine blue and brown mix will give me a colour to represent the back of the head a little bit more clearly again, because watercolour dries a shade lighter, so it's needing to be re-established. I think that the dark of the skull there, the full shape of the head. I'll just bring in that dark at the top there a little bit too. And then the hair in the front of the ear, and the ear is a little bit lower than, it's a bit lower than the eyebrow, so I'm going to start the ear with the 1.5-inch brush now I'm using. It's a better size to represent the shadows of the skin around the ear first, a bit like what I did on Lily's ear yesterday. No, it was maybe the day before yesterday. How I painted the dark of the skin around the ear in order to identify its position. And then we can get on with the shape of the ear, the hollow of the ear and things afterwards. Just putting a bit of cadmium yellow into that red in order to get the shadow that's running under the jaw there. To be honest, I think the ear is coming further forward than it needs to there. So I'm just going to lift off some of that skin shadow with the paper towel while it's still wet and make the new ear shape. That's fine. Okay, so that's the shadow there. And then even back here, there's a bit of a shadow at the back of the neck. Maybe it comes up a little bit farther than I've got it. And I think I could let that run into that a wee bit. Okay. Maybe just do something more for the dark of the bun as well. All right, now let's see with the eye. Erin, could you turn away from me a little bit more towards your right? That's it. I think that's maybe why I put the ear. Looking there is good, yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I just noticed that I'm seeing more of the nose than I was before, and more of the eyebrow. So still maybe a little bit more, but it's a nice angle, so I'm going to keep it. And just find something to describe these features as I go down the face. So something for be some sort of a shadow to represent the nose now that's going to be about level with the ear. So it's a little bit lower than I had it originally. Okay. And I could maybe use the slightly smaller brush just to fine tune a little bit, or to lift out a little bit of that shadow. That's okay. And now I want to clean this out really well, because what I want to use is a bright colour like I did with the cadmium red before for the forehead. I want to use a fairly bright colour now to describe the bridge of the nose, where the light is falling on it here, so that it reads as light. Yeah, that's okay. And coming in here. That's quite a big drop now. I think it might run, so I'm just going to catch it. That's okay. Yeah, I'm using the 1/4 inch brush. Is the temperature okay for you? Yeah. Using the 1/4 inch brush, I'm going to lift out the light that's falling on the eyelid. So it's a craft brush from Royal and Langnickel, and it's quite springy, so it lifts out really well. It needs to be damp, not dripping wet, in order to lift out. And I think I'll leave the white of the eye the colour that it is, but I want to bring in some warmth into the skin beneath the eye there. So if I bring the shadow up, it's about here, there's a shadow for the socket of the eye where the eyeball is kind of outlined by the shadow. And then there's light on the cheek here. Maybe just bring down that light a little bit further, so that we know the cheekbone is a little bit lower than I have it in the first place. That's okay. And I want to darken the iris a little bit now. Gosh, that's not time, Erin, is it?
No.
Okay. Alright. So I'm going to darken the iris. And the eyelashes as they come out from. Here we are. And then I could deepen the tone of that eyebrow as well, even. Maybe put some more brown into the colour of the iris. So, more brown again. Just going to print the edge of the eyelash line again. And then find those eyelashes. Remember when Erin was born, one of the local ladies said you could sweep the streets with her eyelashes. And it was true. Let's see now. Yeah, you could get fierce involved. Like today I did a close-up of my own eye, and you could spend half an hour painting your own eye, like, so you want to be wary of that. But there are a few things I wanted to kind of just explain a little more fully in the area of the eye particularly, so I'm glad to have spent a little bit of time on that. But I need to get on to the upper lip. So using the alizarin crimson with all the colours that were in there, I think a bit more alizarin crimson and blue will give me a colour for the shadow that's in the corner of the mouth there. So it drops down. I'm just holding the brush this way, allows the colour to run a bit more freely down the way to fill that, to occupy that space. Okay, and then the shadow beneath the lower lip just sits back a little bit more than I've got it, I reckon. I want to deepen that corner a little bit more again. There we are. And the shadow underneath can come up a little bit more steeply, I think. There's just a slight change in direction. No, I might have just a couple of minutes to do the ear. A minute for an ear. I hope my head hasn't been in the way the whole time now. Is my head in the way?
No.
Okay. And the other side of the eyebrows, well, actually. So the eyebrow coming back here. And could do a bit more warmth in the cheek too. It was really warm yesterday, but today it's a bit nippier now. We've got the heater on in here. Okay. Yes, and so for the ear, I want to put some sort of a shadow into the cavity of the ear first anyway. That'll be one way of describing it. And then there's a kind of a C shape of shadow above it. And I just bring the back up to meet it again and left so that it's quite clearly outlining the back of the ear. Gosh, I'm not sure if the position there now needs to be shifted back a little bit more. And the hair. Okay, and that's 1 minute to go, Erin, is it?
No, I did that.
No, there's another minute. Can we do another minute? Sorry. Thanks. I just do it as long as I've got memory on my phone. But you've already been sitting for 10 minutes, that's what you mean, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Almost there. Some shadows that are really helpful to identify the bumps and hollows in the face. So I'm going back over here again. I just want to finally lift off some of this skin under here, because I think it's extending further than it needs to.